This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana. Another snowy morning in the Hoosier State.
For the second straight day, snowplows and ice scrapers are getting a workout. And dozens of school districts across central Indiana have canceled or delayed class.
We have team coverage with everything you need to know for this potentially tricky morning commute. Plus,
I thought this can't be. But it was heartbreaking. It was angering. It was, oh my gosh, there was just so many emotions.
Only on RTV6, the widow of a fallen officer, angry after Facebook bans a video meant to raise money for the families of police killed in the line of duty. We'll show you the video and what Facebook is saying this morning.
And you might just think you're getting a Christmas present your family will remember forever. But as our 12 scams of Christmas rolls on, the puppy fraud that could leave you without a brand new pet and out thousands of dollars.
oh, all right. Well, it is 6 o'clock here on your Tuesday morning, December the 17th. Thanks for waking up with us.
All that snow. Hey, don't be overconfident this morning.
Yeah.
I shoveled snow at 3:30. Got out of the shower.
Oh, now he's bragging.
Another inch of snow. So as you head out into the roads, you may think it's A-okay, but NDOT, you did a great job, but it keeps falling.
Yeah, and we drove in some snow yesterday, but it was mostly clear. So we're
Oof.
saying today for all of us, we thought it was worse, and that's just because of the
Yeah.
snow. It's coming down overnight into the morning hours. And Todd, is it still coming down right now?
It is falling in some locations still, and you have to keep in mind northern locations, you didn't get as much snow yesterday, so you may get outside and your roads are just fine. You travel south closer to the metro area, just south of I-70, and that's where the roads are probably going to be the worst because they saw the most snow, and that's where it was falling here this morning. And I'm going to show you radar in just a second, but let me plan out the day for you. This morning, we deal with these snow showers. They will be ending by the noon hour. The clouds will break, and by this evening, the skies will be clear. In fact, we'll have plenty of sunshine this afternoon as well. But here's where the snow continues to fall, and this is where you could get a quick coating to maybe another quarter to half an inch. Winchester over towards Richmond. The snow coming to an end now in Anderson as well as the metro area, but still falling from Bloomington to Nashville over to Columbus and Seymour, where it's mixing with a little bit of freezing drizzle. So just know as you cross the miles here for your morning commute, conditions will likely change a lot from where you are starting your commute to where you are ending. But this whole system is pulling away pretty quickly, and we were finally done talking about wintry weather here. It's been since Sunday that we were talking about winter weather advisories. In fact, started off as a winter storm watch, and then that winter storm warning was dropped this morning, so that's good news. So this morning, as Raphael mentioned, just give yourself some extra time. Temperatures will hold pretty steady in the 30s. We'll talk about the sunshine this afternoon and look ahead to a forecast I think you are going to like coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. I want you to take a good look at your screen right now. This is our NDOT traffic camera on the north side, north of downtown, I-65 at 30th Street. You can see that semi jackknifed across 3 southbound left lanes. So this is impacting your drive if you're heading into downtown from areas like the northwest side on Interstate 65. No reports of any injuries at this time, but you can see this is really slowing down the commute. Drivers kind of squeaking by there in that one right lane. This just happened, and things are starting to pop up all over the metro area. So I want to take a look at our traffic now map. I'm updating these as I can, but they're starting to really come down quickly, these crashes on the interstates. Taking a look here on the south side, still monitoring left lane blocked eastbound I-465 at Harding Street, causing some delays for a crash. Northeast side of town, right lanes of southbound I-465 closed at Pendleton Pike. That's for a crash cleanup as well. Across town, west side, left lane blocked northbound I-465 at 10th Street. And then up here in the Dog Leg, some delays due to the right lane being closed northbound I-65 at I-865. That's looking like a jackknife semi as well. So keep that in mind if that is part of your northwest side commute. Now, we do want to check in with our Kelsey Anderson. She's out here in the passenger seat of Live Drive. This is what it's looking like out there for them this morning. Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you're coming up on, and also we know that you're monitoring an intersection closure in the city.
Yes, so that's where we're at right now. This is the intersection of Lafayette Road and 56th Street, where we're told that the stoplights were damaged overnight, and so DPW is out here working on it, and IMPD is monitoring this intersection, kind of directing traffic. But this is what it looks like right now. So yeah, we're not on the interstate, but there is still backups even on these off roads, and of course these side roads, the secondary roads, are just in a little bit worse shape than those interstates. So still a lot of slush, a lot of slick spots here on these secondary streets. But this again is the live look right here at Lafayette Road and 56th Street, where officials tell us that the stoplights here are out, not working. So they have IMPD officers here directing traffic while DPW works to get that fixed as soon as possible. We will update you on air, online, on Twitter as soon as we know that this intersection is back open. I'll send it back to you, Lauren.
Kelsey, and if drivers are there on the northwest side, they can take Muller Road, High School Road as some possible detours. Again, DPW urging you to avoid that area. We do want to check in, though, across central Indiana, because drivers, no matter where you're heading out, you're going to be dealing with a slick commute. Our own Alyssa Donovan is joining us live downtown this morning. Alyssa, you've got the yardstick out. What's it looking like out there right now?
Got it. So we are seeing some of that light snow falling right now. We're actually just around the corner from the station. We're on 14th Street. It's a side road between Capitol and Illinois Street. And I want to show you, we know we got just about 7.5 inches at the airport, but down here, not quite as much. Still quite a bit of accumulation, though, over the past 24 hours. Almost 4 inches, maybe 5 in some spots. So that is going to create some issues out on the roads this morning. And this is that wet snow. So it is heavy, which means if you are planning to do any shoveling today or snow blowing of your driveway, you definitely need to be careful, because this is the stuff that's very heavy. It could be a little bit dangerous out there for you. I want to show you the roads. So here's a look at some of these side roads. We know that DPW has been working very hard to plow some of those main roads, but if any of these side roads are part of your commute this morning, just be aware they are not plowed. You are going to encounter some slushy and slick conditions. We do have that light snow falling still here downtown, so just be aware of that. DPW has had 80 trucks working the past 48 hours, 12-hour shifts for those people, so they are working hard to clear these roads as you head out this morning. If you encounter any of those trucks, just be aware you need to give them a little bit of extra space just so they can do their job. We also know that the Indiana State Police have been working to clear a lot of crashes over the past 48 hours, hundreds of crashes. And they do say one of the main reasons that people are having issues in these conditions is because they are driving simply too fast. So as you head out this morning, just give yourself a little extra time. If any of these side roads are part of your commute, definitely give yourself some extra time, because you can see there's quite a bit of snow still on some of these roadways. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
And Alyssa, that's part of why we have more than 100 school delays and cancellations today. IPS delayed this morning as well. Check those on the RTV6 app. Well, the winter weather, it's tough on everyone, but especially on folks who are already having a hard time, like homeless youth. Courtney Modesset is the program director for Stopover Inc. It's a nonprofit dedicated to helping young people who are experiencing homelessness. She says when the weather looks like this, those young people, they go into survival mode, and sometimes that can put them in dangerous situations. The young people in need can get in contact with Stopover Inc. a few different ways. That includes through Indigo. So any person can go onto an Indigo bus, tell the driver they need a safe place, and one of the program organizers will pick them up at the transit center. You can find out more about the program and how you can help in this story. It's in the RTV6 app. Now, with more than 200 school delays or cancellations, we want to be sure that you have our website and also the RTV6 app handy with you wherever you go. That's where you can find that complete list of closings and delays. It's just a click away for you at theindychannel.com and the RTV6 mobile app. Be safe out there.
The time now is 6:09, new and only on RTV6. The sacrifice, the heroism, and the dedication of police officers around the country make up this video behind me. It is a powerful 3 minutes and 32 seconds. This became controversial after Facebook said it could not be posted. This morning, the widow of a fallen officer who challenged that decision and our team's work to get answers.
Mostly I see his legacy being that he was a great officer, and he was a great father and a husband.
Jamie Bradway will never forget September 20th, 2013. Her husband, Officer Rod Bradway, was killed in the line of duty while responding to the cries of a woman involved in a domestic dispute. He sacrificed his life to save another.
He served with integrity and honor.
Since Rod's death, Jamie has leaned on the group Cops.
Cops was there in the hospital with me the night that Rod was killed, at the funeral, and still there.
COPS stands for Concerns of Police Survivors. For families of fallen officers, it provides services and support. The not-for-profit recently produced this video entitled The Reason Why.
How do you tell your babies this? He gave his life for other people that he didn't even know.
It flashed before my eyes that I had to tell my kids that their dad was never coming home, and the whole forever thing. And I think at 29, I didn't know what forever meant.
Cops was planning to use the video on Giving Tuesday to raise dollars like all other charities promoting their good cause on that day. But Facebook deemed the heart-wrenching stories as inappropriate and denied its posting.
I thought, this can't be. But it was heartbreaking. You know, I'm a survivor, and it just felt like we were being attacked all over again. That how can such an amazing organization be denied this opportunity?
Jamie vented on social media, but wanted to know the reason for the video ban and put us to work. RTV6 reached out to Facebook with Jamie's disappointment and disgust over the situation.
I don't believe what I did could make a difference.
You don't think so? Why is that?
I'm just a small voice, you know.
So I want to read you a statement from Facebook. Can I?
Yes, sir.
This is from Facebook. Thanks to what you sent to me and I sent to them. Quote, "We rejected this ad in error. We apologize for this mistake, and we are working to approve it so that it can run. The power of one."
Oh, wow. Wow. That's awesome. Wow. Thank you so much.
And we're so happy that you were able to get in contact with them. But I think we're all wondering, Raphael, were they able to post that video finally?
So despite Facebook's written statement to us, Cops is still waiting to get the all clear. So we're still working on the story. The executive director of Cops tells me in a statement that the organization was disappointed that the video was declined for ad promotion, and goes on to say, "We are continuing to push it to continue telling the stories of law enforcement survivors and gain much more needed support for these families and co-workers who have been affected by a line-of-duty death."
And we have this story posted right now. It's at the IndyChannel.com.
And we'd like for you to watch that charity's video and tell us what you think about this situation.
Here at 6:13 on your Tuesday morning, the family of a man who was shot and killed by an Indiana State Police trooper has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against state police in the city of Crawfordsville. Investigators say Indiana State Trooper Daniel Organ shot Glenn Reitzel on December 28th of last year along US 231 north of Crawfordsville. The suit alleges that Reitzel was working on his daughter's broken down car when the shooting happened. State police say Reitzel grabbed a handgun and disobeyed commands, forcing them to fire. In the lawsuit, Glenn Reitzel's widow, Gloria, claims that police unreasonably delayed his access to medical care. In March, the Montgomery County prosecutor concluded that Trooper Daniel Organ did nothing wrong. We are going to take a turn now. We've got to check in on the weather. A snowy morning.
Yeah, we continue to deal with these snow showers, Meredith. So as you walk out the door, for many of you, especially off to the east and south, you are continuing to deal with some light snow that will be falling. Temperatures are hovering and just below the freezing mark. The snow showers, though, they will end as the morning goes on. That is the good news. There's a live look at the satellite radar picture. And by this afternoon, the sun will be out. We'll talk all about the details in the forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:14. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
yelpower.com/ways to save.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. A lot of issues right now on the roads for your morning commute. This is up on the northwest side where we have some stop and go traffic slowdowns here in the northbound lanes of I-65. As you're heading up towards I-865, what happened here is a jackknife semi-trailer is partially blocking the entrance from the ramp from I-865. That's slowing down traffic on the ramp system. Also northbound I-65 there in the dog leg. So give yourself that extra time. I'm monitoring several crashes right now around the interstates, guys. So as traffic's picking up, things are slowing down.
And I think the problem this morning is that INDOT did a pretty good job considering what fell overnight. And people this morning at 4 this morning were going like 60, 70 miles an hour because the lanes were clear.
Right.
But it kept snowing, which means those surfaces got slick again. So overconfidence will cost you this morning.
And any roads that maybe are in neighborhoods or side roads, they didn't get that great treatment that the interstates did, and they don't get as much traffic either. So Todd, when are we going to, we're going to see the snow stop any moment now, correct, for the greater Indianapolis metropolitan area, but that doesn't mean the problems won't stop.
Yeah, you know, the problems are going to linger because temperatures aren't getting above freezing here this morning. We'll get a little bit of snow melt later on this afternoon as we get some sunshine in here. But yeah, especially those side roads. Raphael was mentioning the interstates, people going 60, 70 miles per hour. You have to remember, not everybody got all the snow here. Yesterday, there wasn't as much snow in northern communities. You start going fast on the highway, and then all of a sudden, you get into an area that did pick up snow and you have to slow down. So the road conditions are going to change across parts of central Indiana as this light snow continues. It's mixing with a little bit of freezing rain off towards the southeast as you work a little closer to Cincinnati. The National Weather Service still maintains its winter weather advisory for almost the entire area. It does not include northern locations. As I mentioned, Lafayette, Kokomo, Peru. You did not get into all the heavier snow yesterday afternoon. It was basically just north of Indianapolis and then down to the south. Here's where we stand right now. Muncie to Winchester, Newcastle to Richmond. You're still dealing with some snow. Ending now in Carmel as well as Noblesville and the Anderson area, coming to an end in the metro area as well, but still some light snow on Interstate 69 through Monroe County, and then State Road 37, 65 still impacted by a little bit of light snow. But this too will end pretty quickly from west to east across the area. I would say in the next hour or two. And even if you're seeing some of the snow shower activity at this point, it's maybe going to put down another little coating on the roadways, and that would be just about it, especially the untreated roadways. I don't think the intensity of the snow any longer will be enough to overcome the wet and treated roadways here across the area. But keep in mind, again, conditions will change as you cross the miles. The clouds will break pretty quickly this morning. So the snow ends, the clouds depart pretty quick, and then lots of sunshine this afternoon. You'll want to have those sunglasses handy as temperatures eventually cool down into the 20s. Tomorrow morning, as you wake up, it's cold. We have a fresh snowpack on the ground. We'll have clear skies, and that's going to allow the temperatures to fall all the way down into the teens to start off your Wednesday morning. And then as we continue throughout the day, plenty of sunshine tomorrow, but it's the coldest day we have in our 7-day planning forecast with a high temperature only in the mid-20s. Once we get to Thursday morning, temperatures drop down into the single digits. At this point, again, still a pretty solid snowpack on the ground. In some areas over 7 inches when you add the snow together from Sunday and what fell yesterday. So Thursday, it's a bitter cold start, but looking ahead, we flip the script. We'll start melting the snow pretty quickly throughout the latter half of the week. By the time we work our way into Saturday, we're looking at a temperature that's up near 40 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And as you look at your 7-day planning forecast, temperatures will be in the mid-40s Sunday and Monday. In fact, some locations on Monday could even get up to maybe 50 degrees. And then we're going to keep the temperatures above normal as we work our way towards Christmas. And with those storm systems on the horizon next week, once this snow melts, our chances for a white Christmas, unfortunately, will go by the wayside.
All right, Todd. Well, we are having a number of issues around the interstates at this hour. This is a look on the east side, I-70 and Sherman Drive. Heavy traffic, as you can see here. The westbound lanes are slow due to a crash near the north split right now, causing delays. We're going to show you that one, but right now let's just take a look at our map as a whole. Issues popping up all over the interstates around the metro area this morning. And this is really just a handful of what's coming into our system right now. It's not not seem to be picking up any on side streets. There could be a number of other crashes out there. Over here on the west side, left lane, northbound I-465 at Sam Jones Expressway, that is blocked. This is the issue I just mentioned happening in the downtown area. We do have southbound I-65 coming in from the northwest side. That's slow due to that jackknife semi we are monitoring near 29th Street. Expect delays there. And here's the issue near the north split, backing up traffic due to the left lanes being closed at Meridian Street. That's heading northbound on I-65, creating a number of issues in the downtown area. Taking you up here to the northwest side, we showed you this area closed. We're going to check back in a minute on that Lafayette Road and 56th Street. A semi crash. It's jackknifed across the on-ramp from I-865 to I-65 northbound up in the dog leg, creating problems for drivers there on the northwest side, maybe trying to head up to Boone County areas like Whitestown, so give yourself that extra time. And we have slowdowns here in the Fishers area. Take a look at your commute. Left lane blocked here, southbound I-69 at 116th Street due to a crash. So really just a number of issues you may run into this morning. Our Kelsey Anderson, she's in live drive monitoring what she tells me is really slick conditions on 56th Street. And Kelsey, this is that closed intersection that we've been telling everybody about.
Yeah, that's right. Not only is this road super slick already and not well cleared, it is still covered in packed snow. It's icy, it's slippery, but also this intersection up here that you see, Lafayette Road and 56th Street, is closed because we're told that the stoplights have stopped working because of something that happened overnight. So DPW crews are out here right now trying to work on that, get it fixed as soon as possible. And you can see there's police lights everywhere. They're redirecting traffic, trying to get people away from this area. So, and it's kind of a mess. You can't really tell because now it's behind us, but people are turning around, and it's just a messy situation over here. I don't recommend anyone come to this intersection if they can at all avoid it. This is, again, 56th Street and Lafayette Road. The intersection here, the stoplights are out. This intersection is closed, so try to avoid it. And then we'll update you on air, on Twitter, online, as soon as we know that this intersection is back up and running. Lauren.
Kelsey, thank you. Stay safe out there. Visa is warning of a new way crooks are trying to steal your data. Coming up, how to protect yourself at the pump so you don't waste your money.
Shine brighter than you ever thought possible.
Welcome back. We are monitoring a semi over here on the side of the road, I-65 near 30th Street. It's blocking the right shoulder at this hour. You're heading southbound on I-65. This is one we showed earlier that was jackknifed across the roadway. So lanes are back open, but we still have slow traffic crashes all around the metro area. And Raphael, you were looking, this isn't just the only crash that folks have been monitoring. They've been working crashes all night long.
Yeah, we just received an email from Metro Police, Aaron Hamer, the PIO, telling us that since 6 p.m., they've already responded to 25 property damage accidents, 38 slide-offs just in the city of Indianapolis.
And obviously we don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict what is going to happen here in the next few hours as the morning commute does pick up. But Todd, I think it is safe to assume that we might see more crashes out there just due to the conditions.
Yeah, you know, the snow's on the ground, right? The snow falling from this point forward, not really going to cause too much in the way of issues, but temperatures are below freezing, and you just got to be smart out there. As we always say, you just need to slow down, and so that's why I made that caution sign for you there, and I'll throw the slippery sign word in the middle of it to even try to get you to use more caution, as the roadways this morning seem to be a little bit worse for whatever reason than they were for yesterday morning's commute. So just give yourself that extra time. Here's what it looks like on the satellite radar picture. The band of snow from Muncie to Richmond, then down towards Bloomington. Snow ending in the metro area has already come to an end there in northern locales. But again, just slow down on the roadways. There's snow on the ground. And for some of you on the eastern side of the state, still a little bit of snow falling from the sky.
Todd, thank you. Visa says crooks are finding a new way to get your information at the gas pump.
And so they say that thieves no longer have to use those skimmers to read your card, which is pretty scary. So let's check in with John Matteries, who explains how you can protect your information so you don't waste your money.
Watch that credit card when buying gas these days. Visa has just announced that scammers no longer need to install skimming devices on individual gas pumps to steal your card data. According to the tech site Engadget, Visa has discovered that crooks are now intercepting unencrypted data from magnetic swipe credit cards as the gas station uploads pump information to card companies. So they no longer need a skimmer to read your credit card. Visa is now urging gas stations to encrypt or scramble their card data or install chip card readers, which are nearly impossible to hack. In fact, Visa is requiring gas stations to have secure chip card readers in place on all gas pumps by October 2020. You can protect yourself by only using stations that have chip card readers in their gas pumps. If your station still uses old swipe technology, consider paying inside at the register so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
John, thanks. Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday morning, here is a look at your 6:30 news feed. A hit and run on the interstate has left a man in critical condition. It happened on the on-ramp from northbound I-65 to eastbound I-465 on the south side. The man was out of his car checking his tires when he was hit. State police are still looking for the car that hit him.
A 4-year-old boy is dead and his mother is in the hospital following a shooting in Gary. Police say Torian Dukes was sleeping in a second-floor bedroom at an apartment when someone outside fired gunshots inside. The boy later died at the hospital. His mother, who is 3 months pregnant, was shot in the arm and bullets grazed her face. It's unclear right now if this was a targeted shooting.
More local news. A man convicted of killing his mother during an argument last year has been sentenced to 26 years in prison. Gabriel Basie pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. Police say he killed 54-year-old Patricia Basie in June of 2018 at the Chatham Walk townhomes near 21st and Franklin Road.
The racing world is celebrating the life of a man who was a pioneer in developing products to improve racing safety. Bill Simpson died on Monday at the age of 79. Simpson started out producing helmets and fire suits for NASCAR and motorcycle riders. In recent years, he worked to develop safer football helmets to protect young athletes from concussions. A celebration of his life is planned for this May at the IMS Museum.
The Indianapolis Colts are out of playoff contention after a record-setting night for Saints quarterback Drew Brees. The Purdue grad passed former Colt Peyton Manning for the most ever career NFL touchdown passes, reaching a total of 541. Brees threw 4 touchdowns in last night's game, leaving the final score 34-7. The Colts have lost their last 4 straight games. Guys, at 6:31, it's been an hour, and I don't know if you noticed, the school delays and closures have jumped to 265. We were around 130 about an hour ago. So conditions are changing.
And I don't blame those schools for making that decision. We can see on our traffic cameras right now that there are accidents and crashes out there, semis sliding off the roadways. And Todd, that is because the roads are getting more and more slick.
Yeah, you know, the snow is basically coming to an end, but you have to remember we had snow the other morning, yesterday morning or Sunday night, I guess it started. Temperatures yesterday didn't get above freezing, so there wasn't any melting that takes place. Then we get more snow, and we're still below freezing. So even though you do not see, in some locations, snow falling from the sky any longer, some of you still are, and I'll show you radar in just a second. You just have to give yourself extra time here this morning. So yeah, I think it's a great call for many of those school districts to have that 2-hour delay and just let the bulk of the traffic get to work and the crews to do their job out there. So we mentioned the slick conditions. By this afternoon, though, the skies will be sunny, believe it or not. In fact, once we get rid of the snow, you notice the sky's already starting to clear here in western portions of the state, but still some light snow falling from Winchester to Newcastle to Richmond. It's come to an end in Anderson as well as Noblesville. And as we slide down to the south here, we're dealing with light snow in Bloomington, Nashville, Columbus, over into the Martinsville area, Spencer, kind of the last hurrah here for the snow for you. And then this will eventually make its way out of the area. But because we have to deal with snow on the roadways for the morning commute, the National Weather Service continues this winter weather advisory for most of the state. The exception is to the north, where you did not get much in the way of additional snowfall yesterday with the system that moved through and is currently moving through. But here are those temperatures below freezing, and that's where they essentially stay here this morning. We get up to right around 30 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour as we break out into that sunshine, but then temperatures actually fall this afternoon. The good news is, going forward in this forecast, that we do not stop to talk about snow once we get past this afternoon. We'll talk about those details coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, we have a number of issues we're monitoring on the interstates this morning. This isn't even talking about those secondary streets. Use caution on those. Over here on the west side, we still have a crash blocking a lane of northbound I-465 near Sam Jones Expressway. A lot of delays heading in and out of the downtown area. Southbound I-65 slow due to an earlier semi. We also have the northbound I-65 lane slow. Left lane's blocked at Meridian Street, slowing down traffic at the north split. We do have this intersection closed. Lafayette Road, West 56th Street. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. A semi crash blocking part of the on-ramp on northbound I-65 at I-865. That's in the dog leg, slowing down your commute. And we just got word that we have some injuries reported here at this crash. Left lane blocked right now in Fishers, southbound I-69 at 116th Street. Let's take a look outside right now, give you an idea of what you can expect as you head out on the roads. This is I-465 near the Sam Jones Expressway, an area where we do have a crash on the west side. Can't see the crash here, but you can see traffic is heavy and it is moving slow in that area. We do want to give you a look at some of those secondary roads right now. Our Kelsey Anderson is in the live drive vehicle. They've been monitoring an intersection that DPW is working hard on this morning. Kelsey, where exactly are you at and what have you been watching?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we are currently actually parked in the Marathon gas station parking lot at 56th Street and Lafayette Road, and that's because this intersection you see here is completely closed. They're not even directing traffic through it. They're directing traffic around it, which means they're going through these parking lots, which are even slicker than the road. So if you can avoid this intersection at all this morning, please do so, because there are several crews out here working this morning. There's IMPD officers directing traffic, and then DPW crews out here, trying to fix this stoplight that they say was damaged overnight. So they're trying to get this done as soon as possible. And of course, the less traffic that's around here, the safer it is for everybody, and the faster that they'll be able to get this intersection and this light back up and running this morning. And of course, we'll bring you updates on when this is back open this morning. And then we also want to tell you that these secondary roads are still very slick. Some of them not cleared at all. They're still completely covered in snow that's just packed down since people have been driving on it. We've seen a lot of people slipping and sliding. Even our vehicle, kind of slipped as we were kind of pulling into traffic. So just be cautious out on the roadways this morning and slow down. And again, avoid this intersection at 56 and Lafayette Road if you can. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. Let's check out the map from the Department of Public Works. This is their Indy Snow Force viewer. We can take a look at where Metro crews are working to keep the roads clear. The streets that are in light blue are being plowed right this very moment. Those in green have been plowed within the past 2 hours. If your street is another color, it has been longer, but DPW does have one of its 80 trucks on the way. The department says all of its plow and salt trucks will remain activated until at least 11 o'clock tonight. As you head out this morning, we do want to make sure you know exactly what is going on with this weather, specifically what you might be driving through. Our Alyssa Donovan is downtown with more on what you will have to deal with. Hey, Alyssa.
Yeah, we're downtown just around the corner from the station. We're on 14th Street between Capitol and Illinois. This is a side road, and you can see there's quite a bit of snow still on the roads. DPW has been working to clear a lot of these roadways, but some of these side roads, you're still going to encounter some of those slick conditions. And I want to show you, we did receive just over 7 inches at the airport. That's the official total for Indianapolis over the past 48 hours. But downtown, we didn't receive quite as much, closer to 3, 4, 5 inches in some locations. Right where I am, we're just a little bit over 3 inches. So that is enough accumulation to cause some issues on the road. So you definitely need to give yourself some extra time. We know that Indiana State Police has responded to hundreds of crashes over the past 48 hours. And they say the #1 reason people are having issues in these conditions is because they are simply driving too fast for the snow and ice conditions that are on the road. So definitely give yourself some extra time as you head out this morning. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Our weather coverage continues throughout the morning. We'll also be checking in with Indigo to see how they're doing on this busy winter day. That and much more coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana.
It for less at Ross. Yes, for less.
The time now is 6:41 on this cold, wintry day in Indianapolis. The city's newest rapid transit line is now in its 4th month. Indigo began collecting fares on the Red Line on December the 1st. So what's ahead for the system in the new year? Indigo's new Public Relations Director, Leslie Gordon, joins us live here in Studio A. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
On this cold, wintry day. First, let's talk about the bus system. Of course, this morning, a lot of snow today. How are the buses faring on this day?
Yeah, they're doing really great. I mean, we just want drivers to understand they got to take some time, and the buses are on the same roads that they are, but they've been able to maintain their schedule and get people to work safely.
And for those folks that are using the Red Line for the first time, a feature that they may not be aware of is that the platforms do have coil systems to keep the ice off the platforms. Does that mean you should not just run on the platforms? Still be cautious, but there is a safety feature on that platform.
Exactly, no, and it helps us maintain those platforms. So yes, we help keep the snow and melt them off as soon as they start feeling that precipitation at a certain temperature.
As you know, we also did a story a couple of weeks ago regarding the batteries on the buses. How are they doing? We know when it gets cold, the batteries don't fare as well. You've done some things to improve the system. How is that going?
Yeah, it's actually going pretty well. We're definitely making real-time decisions. Our goal is to provide the best service that we can for our riders. So there are times we have to switch the buses out, and we know as the temperatures get colder, we'll have to keep making those changes until our temporary charging is in place.
December the 1st, you began actually collecting fares on the Red Line. You're waiting for the MyKey software to be up and running. What is the state of that program?
Right, so our temporary fare system is allowing us to collect fares. We're just making sure we're educating our riders to buy those tickets before they board. We know that's a new thing, and fare inspectors are a new thing, so we're using this time as an education period.
And Leslie, we want to take you outside. Obviously, this is a live picture of Interstate 65 at the North Split. Indigo buses are not on the interstate system, but you are dealing with this kind of weather today, and you were telling me that considering what's been falling and what has fallen already, your buses are doing the best possible.
Yes, I mean, we're on the same roads that our drivers are, but we are an alternative. So maybe you can sit back and let us do the driving and worrying, and you're able to scroll or listen to a podcast or get some work done. So.
Now, of course, the system is evolving, and so you're looking for ways to improve the system. So what can we expect in the new year from Indigo?
Yeah, we're really excited. Not only are we still expanding, we still have a purple and a blue line to have public meetings for and to start construction on that purple line soon. And then the launch of MyKey is going to be great. Being able to do that seamless tap key web access as well as mobile access to our fares is going to be really innovative.
Leslie Gordon, Indigo's new Public Relations Director, thank you so much to you. Have a safe commute this morning.
I will.
Now back to the anchor desk.
Raphael, thank you. If a furry friend is on your Christmas list, be careful. Next, we continue our 12 Scams of Christmas series with one that could leave you and your child in tears this holiday season. Todd.
As we've been talking about all morning long with the snow on the ground and still some snow showers in some areas falling, you got to use extra caution here on the roadways. So slow down. We'll give you the red light. We'll change that to the yellow caution light for your evening drive. At this point, roads should be getting better. The sun will come out, so it does turn into a bright day for us, and then we'd have a warming trend that's heading our way into the weekend. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:44. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It is 6:46, and we're monitoring a number of issues on your roads right now. This is a look at I-65 at West Street and MLK. Heading into the downtown area, right now we have issues in both directions on I-65. As you're heading into downtown, you can see one there in the center lanes. Traffic is heavy in both directions, especially southbound heading into the downtown area. So use caution. Right now we're to the point where we can't monitor every single crash because they're just coming in too quickly. So keep that in mind as you're heading out there. Today's conditions looking a little worse than what you experienced on Monday, so plan ahead.
And you can stay up to date with the latest road and weather conditions by downloading the RTV6 app. We have real-time forecasts of the snow, live radar, live traffic cameras, video, pictures, everything to keep you prepared of what's to come and what's happening right now. And with the snow expected to last through the morning hours, you can also download the Storm Shield app, which alerts you to warnings and watches. But here at 6:47, a warning for you. This holiday season, we are counting down the 12 scams of Christmas to keep you protected from fraud. And it is a dream for some kids and some grown-ups to wake up Christmas morning and see a puppy underneath the tree.
But the 6th scam of Christmas can cost you thousands of dollars and leave your child disappointed. Puppy scams happen all year round, and they're especially prevalent around the holidays. People fall in love with the pictures posted online and arrange to have the puppy shipped. But then something happens. The seller needs more money for shipping, or they say the puppy is ill and you have to pay for treatment.
I needed an air-conditioned, very expensive $1,100 to $1,300 crate, and that's when I called the breeder back, the so-called breeder, and said, I want my dog or my money or I'm calling the police.
One of the easiest ways to spot these scams is to do a reverse Google image search. It's a huge red flag if you see that photo on multiple sites. Search the seller's business, address, and phone number. Never, ever, never pay using Western Union, MoneyGram, or gift cards, and always use a credit card so that you can dispute the charge if something goes wrong. The best way to avoid these scams is to adopt, don't shop, and check out your local animal shelter for pets in need of a loving home. Working for you throughout the entire month, we are highlighting a different scam crooks like to use this time of year. So we'll show you how to avoid becoming a victim, being defrauded, on our website, theindychannel.com.
We want to toss things over to meteorologist Todd Clausen right now. Todd, the scene behind you from the IMS Pagoda looks awfully lovely. Yeah, right. The lights sparkling there in the morning darkness. But for those who are headed out the door, they might say, this isn't so lovely.
No. Yeah, you know, it's beautiful when you're looking outside, right, at it. You're sitting in a nice warm house and you have to drive through it. And we've had lots and lots of issues. And Lauren's going to talk more about the accidents that are popping up here across central Indiana. When you look at this picture, though, you can see the city skyline all the way from Speedway, and that shows you that the snow has come to an end in this area and through the metro area because of the snow is still falling. The visibility would be reduced. You would not be able to see downtown. And yeah, there's those Christmas lights inside the track, 29 degrees. The wind is out of the north at 15 miles per hour. That northerly wind will keep our temperatures from warming throughout the day today. So we are going to stay at or below freezing. So there's not going to be a ton of snow melt, although once we get the sunshine in here later on this afternoon, that should help at least on the pavement to start melting things. 30 in Bloomington, 28 right now in Tipton, Richmond at 25. The winter weather advisory will go through 9 o'clock. At that point, I think the National Weather Service probably drops that. They just kind of wanted to get us through the commute, and with that winter weather advisory making you aware that we do have slick conditions out there. Here's what's left of the snow. More in the way of just some flurries and light snow action here as you work your way off to the eastern side of the state. This looks a little worse on radar than it actually is. It's probably just these darker shades of that bluish purple that we're dealing with some light snow showers. This really shouldn't put down any more in the way of accumulation, with the exception down here in the Bloomington, Nashville area. Could pick up maybe a coating to a little bit more than that, but then we should be done with it. In fact, when you look to the west of that band of snow, you notice the clouds breaking apart. So we should get into sunshine pretty quickly here this morning once the sun does come up. Official sunrise not until 8 o'clock here this morning, and TrueCast shows you how the clouds basically just thin out across the area, and then we'll have a pretty decent afternoon for us with those chilly temperatures. And then as we work our way into the overnight hours, could be a few snow showers in northern locations, but we are not expecting any significant snow to head our way. So a few snow showers linger to the east here through 8 a.m. Otherwise, clouds will decrease this morning, 29 by the noon hour, and then by this afternoon we're into the sunshine, 6 p.m. down to 26 degrees with a clear sky. And for the day tomorrow, it's the coldest day we have in our extended forecast. It's a bright day for us, but temperatures will only be in the 20s throughout the afternoon hours and then falling into the teens. And with that snowpack still on the ground come Thursday morning, we're looking at temperatures in the single digits in many locations. So it is going to be a cold start to our Thursday, but from that point forward, as we go over to your 7-day planning forecast, you notice the temperatures do start to moderate as we work our way into the weekend. We're back into the mid to upper 30s. By Sunday, we're up to 43. By Monday, we're up to 46 degrees. So all the snow that's out there will be a thing of the past by the time we get to the weekend. And unfortunately for those hoping for a white Christmas, it does not look like another storm system will bring any snow. And if we did see a storm system next week with temperatures well above freezing, it would be all rain. Lauren.
All right, Todd, here is a look right now outside on the near east side. Our INDOT traffic camera at I-70, Rural Street and Keystone Avenue. the right side of your screen, that's traffic heading westbound into the downtown area. You can see it's moving pretty slowly, and that's due to two different issues we have in the North Split area, right near Meridian Street heading northbound on I-65, and then just a little bit farther up the road on northbound I-65, a crash in the center lane there near MLK. So no matter where you're traveling, you'll want to leave early. We're monitoring conditions that are much worse than what we saw yesterday morning, so keep that in mind when you're planning what time you should leave home this morning. A number of school delays are on the app, also on the bottom of your screen due to these conditions. And we're also monitoring an issue over on the northwest side, a closed intersection. Our Kelsey Anderson is outside right now at Lafayette Road and 56th Street. And Kelsey, you guys have been monitoring the work there. What's going on right now?
Well, if you can look right here, you can see DPW crews are on scene here at the intersection of Lafayette Road and 56th Street, working to get this stoplight back up and running. And I don't know if Jonathan can zoom in. You can kind of see there are no stoplights right there on that wire, so we don't know if they fell down or if they were broken and DPW took them down. We just know that there aren't stoplights up there right now. And we're asking people to avoid this intersection if at all possible. Now, this is the road that I take every day to get to work, and it is much worse than it was yesterday. So roads are still slick, and they're having people go through the parking lots if they do come this way. And the parking lots, as you can see, are much more slick than the roadways are, and the roadways are still pretty covered this morning. So if you can avoid this intersection, if at all possible, at 56 and Lafayette Road, police and DPW are asking you to please avoid this area, and we'll continue to update you on this intersection and when it opens back up again. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. The weather, a story developing all day. We'll keep you on top of that. But coming up next, tonight, are you ready? Is the night Banker's Life will be rocking, all because of a visit Pacer fans have been looking forward to. A special preview next, right here on GMI. Live. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Lakers at Pacers tonight. More on that later today. In the meantime, we hope you have a good morning. Thanks for watching.